and welcome to a brand new show, View from the Bridge. This is your host, Kinnari Singh, and our very first episode features a very informative interview with Dr. Bhavnani. He has been newly elected to the position of Chairman of Fosma. Let's talk with him to gain a deeper insight into what's new at the association and how it intends to tackle the various challenges the industry is facing due to COVID-19 pandemic.
So first of all, thank you so much. I know you have keeping really busy. You are having a busy schedule, but you somehow managed to took some time off for this interview. So first of all, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure for me to speak to Sailor today, being one of the leading magazines, reporting all the maritime news, and always wonderful to interact.
Right, sir. The pleasure is all ours, sir. So, first of all, big congratulations to you. You have been elected as the chairman of Fosma. So, a very big congratulations for that.
Thank you very much.
So, my first question is actually based on that. You carry the baton forward from past chairmen who I'm very sure have been very leaders in their own rights, from being high performers, go-getters, and achievers. My question to you is, what does this position mean to you? As in, what is topmost on your mind with regard to your immediate responsibilities and priorities?
What is happening today has never happened before and probably is never going to happen again. We are living in times where every day is a new day. There are aspects which keep on changing, and we are required to respond very, very quickly to each of them to ensure that our objectives are not going to be compromised in any manner. As far as Fosma is concerned, Fosma has always been at the forefront of the Indian maritime industry to ensure that all the concerns, all the required aspects, and also all the various perspectives are going to be made available to all the stakeholders in such a way that the benefit can pass on to all the stakeholders of the industry. It's always been Fosma's endeavor to ensure that that it works along with the government and the other industry bodies to ensure that the jobs for the Indian seafarers are not only maximized, but Indians are able to retain their leading position all over the world within the maritime industry. So that's something which continues to be a challenge for us, more so during these uncertain and totally troubled times.
I also wanted to ask you if any new members have joined Fosma. I mean, right now, what is the membership of the strength of the association?
Yes, I think Fosma as an association is made up of members which share a common work philosophy, which are willing to, ensure that the required global standards and the benchmarks are going to be maintained. And also at the same time is able to emulate that in all their dealings with the outside world. We are always open to new members, and we would definitely like to welcome them on board whenever such an opportunity was to arise. And we would invite all the companies to speak to us, and I'm sure we can discuss with them and have them on board.
I hope you do agree with me with this question. Shipping industry right now is having one of its most challenging times internationally, with each and every country fighting a very difficult battle against COVID-19. My question to you is, as an association representing foreign ship owners and manager, what are the specific concerns your members have to deal with in recent times?
That's a very valid question, and it's something which is there on everybody's minds today. A lot of seafarers are on board. They have completed their tenures, but they are unable to disembark from there, either because ports where the vessels are calling are not allowing any disembarkation, or there are no flights available, if not both. So it is really a matter of topmost concern for the entire industry and also for our association. that we need to ensure that seafarers are able to disembark at the earliest. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the seafarers for their sheer professionalism, for their sheer resilience, and for their mental endurance, ensuring that all the vessels keep on running in a very safe and an incident-free manner. We cannot really thank them enough for all their efforts and for all the hard work which they have done, in spite of the fact that they've already completed their tenures on board. It is our foremost objective right now to ensure that they should be able to come back to their families and be able to hand over their responsibilities to the next batch of seafarers who are going to be coming and relieving them.
Okay. Most organizations and business are working right now. They are working towards building a crisis-resistant culture and technology core. So my question to you is, do you think the shipping industry is equipped and prepared enough for such transition? Also, can the present situation, can it be used as an opportunity towards automation and smart shipping?
Well, yes, I think the answer to your question is yes. Sometimes changes are going to be voluntary, sometimes changes are forced. I think from a positive perspective, we must look at all adversities as an opportunity and see how we are able to benefit from them. What is significant here is the fact that with this kind of an opportunity coming in, with this kind of an adversity coming in, I see a lot of opportunities for the Indian seafarers to be established their level of competence to the next level. Indian seafarers today are considered to be the best, and of course, rightfully so. At the same time, this kind of an opportunity coming in really takes them to the next level. So from that point of view, definitely, I think it's a very big opportunity. We should be able to grab it. The seafarers have actually already grabbed it, and we can see it in their performance on board. From the point of view of autonomous ships and the automation, yes, automation has been increasing steadily. The Indian seafarers they have grabbed this opportunity. They have taken themselves up to the next level. That is for sure. At the same time, as far as the impact on the autonomous shipping is concerned, I think it's a bit early to say how much is this pandemic going to play a role in that. Autonomous shipping is something which is being debated on, which is really being talked about, and probably that's going to happen in its own course of duration and time. We'll just have to wait and see as to what the impact on that would be in the times to come.
Ensuring to successfully navigate the new world and to build a pandemic-proof business in future. I want to know your views. Do you see any change in the organizational structure, culture, or functioning of Fosma and its member companies?
No, not really. I mean, in fact, I don't really see anything of that kind happening. In fact, I would really say that because of this, the COVID-19 pandemic, I think the values have become that much stronger. The philosophy has become that much more robust, and the way of doing things is going to become that much more permanent and effective. So, from that point of view, I think whatever are the existing pillars of Fosma, they are just simply going to get strengthened by this.
Right now, be it a public sector or be it a private sector, everyone is expecting some or the other thing from the government of India. I wanted to know what kind of support would you seek or expect from the government of India during this scenario?
I think first of all, I would like to, on behalf of the industry, I would like to thank the Director General of Shipping and his entire team for being a very strong pillar of support for the maritime industry, for ensuring that the interests of the seafarers have been not only maintained but enhanced very significantly. I think a lot of proactive measures have been taken to ensure that all the certifications and all the other documentation requirements which are there, they automatically are going to get extended by a few months' time so that the jobs are not affected. the support which has come from the government of India has been simply phenomenal. So we are grateful to them for giving us this support, and we are very sure that this is going to continue in the times to come. Very recently, we got an approval to operate a chartered flight because to be able to transport the seafarers from India outside. And we also got an approval to get the seafarers who were stranded outside India to get them back into India. And this entire process now is relatively becoming very smooth. More and more companies also applying for the approval of the chartered flights. And I can see that the movement of the seafarers in the days to come is going to become far smoother.
Right.
And for that, it's only been due to the active efforts of the government of India here, the Ministry of Shipping, the Director General of Shipping, and we would really take this opportunity to thank them for all their efforts and support.
So lastly, I just wanted to ask the last question. According to recent estimates, 90% of Indian seafarers work on foreign flagship. So as chairman of Fosma, I wanted to ask you, do you want to give any message to the lack of the seafarers and their families during this uncertain and difficult times?
Oh, yes, certainly. Number one, I would like to, convey the fact that we really, our topmost priority is to get our seafarers back at the earliest possible. Understand the scenario which is there, and we understand the need for the seafarers to be back home with their families. And we also understand the fact that since they've already completed their tenure on board, this needs to happen at the earliest. So the message which we would like to give to the seafarers and their families is primarily that we are with you. We are continuously working to close communication and coordination with all national and international maritime organizations to somehow ensure that the seafarers are brought back home without any further delay. A lot of these efforts may not be visible or they may be visible, but this is something which we would like to emphasize on, that we are continuously doing this and we hope to really get dividends out of this before long. And of course, I would like to thank all the seafarers once again and their families for their understanding and for their continual hard work and efforts to ensure that whatever professional demands have been placed onto them, this they have discharged with their ability to the utmost. So thank you to all of them.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Bhavnani. I'm sure all the words which you have spoken and all the views which you have given, I'm sure it's going to be really helpful for all the viewers of Sailor Today TV and also to the seafarers. Just a request from my side, any last piece of advice or any word you want to say to the seafarers, because it's a difficult time. People are getting restless, they are losing their calm. So any piece of advice or any word you want to say to the seafarers?
Well, our request to them would be to display the required level of resilience as what they have displayed so far. These times are going to get over very soon. We are with them, and please have belief in the entire system. And very shortly, they are going to be back, and things are going to be much closer to the levels of normalcy compared to what they have been so far. And they can definitely look forward to better times. And my best wishes to all of them.
All the very best to all your future endeavors, and we do hope and wish more and more interviews of you and Sailor Today TV in the future. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Also managed to speak to Capt Sankalp Shukla, newly elected Vice Chairman of Fosma, to gain a deeper insight into what's new at the association and how it intends to tackle the various challenges the industry is facing during COVID-19 pandemic. This is what he had to say.
You have been elected as Vice Chairman of Fosma, so a big congratulations on that to you, sir.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much.
Okay. These are unprecedented times with shipping facing the impact of COVID-19. I wanted to ask you, as an association, what are the specific issues on your agenda that need to be treated immediately?
the main issue right now, as everybody is aware, is trying to make sure that our seafarers who are on board ships, who've completed their tenure, completed their contracts, get back home, get back to their loved ones. Ever since this pandemic started, you are aware that a lot of governments have put in restrictions for crew changes. There are no international flights coming into India. So crew change had literally come to a standstill. And the people on board the ships who have completed their tenure are anxious, understandably so, fatigued, understandably so, and they want to come back. And that is what is the immediate issue that we face.
Also, it has been estimated that India might have almost lost 50,000 jobs on board ships due to the crew change crisis. April was by far the worst month for Indian seafarers in many years. Are you satisfied with the measures being taken to tackle this problem, or do you feel that more needs to be done?
See, I for one can say that I was supposed to take over 4 ships for my company with Indians, and last minute, because of the lockdown and travel restrictions, we lost those jobs to other nationalities. So yes, there are quite a few job losses that have taken place ever since the lockdown came into force. But we need to be honest and understand the kind of effort that the Director General of Shipping's office as well as Ministry of Shipping has taken during this lockdown. Is that the first focus was to do crew change of Indian nationals for ships that were coming in India. And through the order of Ministry of Home Affairs and the Director General of Shipping, we managed carrying out crew change of Indians during the lockdown at India. And that is the standard operating protocols were created. The e-passes were issued because, you know, there was even difficulty in interstate or intercity transport. So a lot has been done by the government. Of recently, we've seen permissions for charter flights to go out and even come in. We had Indian seafarers who were abroad on cruise ships, and since the ships were laid up, they needed to come back home. And just a couple of days back, flight from Rome came back to Goa carrying 200 Indian seafarers from the cruise industry. So while saying that it would not be right in saying that the government has not done much, yes, there has been a price to pay because of the pandemic and the decision of the government to actually shut down, and that has resulted in some job losses. But at the same time, a lot has been done by the government, Ministry of Shipping and the Director General of Shipping, in still trying to facilitate crew change at such difficult times.
Also, as global demands continue to be significantly affected, there is a slowdown in trade. How will this affect shipping in the coming months or years?
I mean, shipping, if I may, has got direct impact to global trade. If global trade does slow down, so would shipping. We would see more ships being laid up, lesser number of jobs. That is directly in relationship to global trade. But on the brighter side, I would like to see that this is not a permanent feature. When the demand rises, it will rise so drastically that shipping will again boom, and there'll be more need for more ships and more seafarers. So whatever goes down has to come up, and that is the view that I take.
During the lockdown, the IT industry transitioned to work from home model rather smoothly. According to you, what is the feasibility, merits, and challenges of such a model in context to shipping industry?
Well, I think shipping industry were braced very quickly to the online platform of doing things, whether it be the administration. Nearly everything is possible online. You don't have to physically go for anything or handing any paper over. Even within the organization, earlier on, we used to have our board meetings where it used to be in somebody's office, and we all used to gather at a particular time and brainstorm and talk about issues. We are doing the same thing on an online platform, and the advantage is that it has saved us the issue in Bombay is always traffic and the time that you take to travel. So that has improved, or that has completely been mitigated. The meetings go on regularly. The presence of more people are there, because earlier it used to be, no, I'm stuck in my office, I cannot leave my office. Now on an online platform, more people can come. We are seeing that our office staff there is productive working of our office staff, because again, they don't waste time in commuting. Especially ladies, they are able to give attention at home as well as at work. So these are the advantages, and there is nothing that has stopped us in our operations working from home. The downside of working from home is there is always a luxury of being in the office. The actual human interaction is not there. It is a virtual interaction that is there. And the problem now that I feel personally is there is no time to disconnect. Like earlier on, you said you left office at 7 o'clock, you left office at 7 o'clock, work was done. Now work just goes on and on and on.
Also, do you see any changes in the ship management due to COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, it has affected ship management quite a bit, because again, there are restrictions in ports. Trying to get spares, stores on board ships is not that easy. There is, I mean, you don't find superintendents now planning to go and inspect ships, because there are restrictions. There's always the fear of somebody from outside carrying the infection on board the ship. So even ship management is no longer what it used to be, where there was that much of contact per se physically with the vessel. It is now there virtually, like how we are doing it within our industry via video conferencing and things like that. And that is a big change. That's a big challenge for the ship management part of it.
Lastly, Captain Sankalp, I want to ask, according to you, what is the most challenging part of ship management today, and what are some of the proactive measures undertaken to ensure uninterrupted operability of vessels?
See, the biggest challenge of ship management has been man management or crewing. That is the most essential, that is the most challenging, and that is also the most, what do you say, nothing that is for certain, because human behavior changes. Given the current scenario, ship managers are faced, other than supply of spares and stores. You have people who are overdue by 3 months, 4 months, 5 months on board ships. You're not able to get them off. They've got anxiety, which is understandable. They are tired, which is again understandable. And the sheer helplessness in actually able to try and overcome this problem, because the various governments are not in our control. So the main issue currently, even in ship management, is management. You can still manage getting spares across, still manage getting stores across with whatever best effort you can do. But the problem is trying to empathize, trying to pass on that message to human beings on board the ship as well as ashore, that, despite us trying our level best, it is not in our hands to get you off the ship or get you on the ship. So these are basically challenging times when it comes to human beings, because it is basically the movement of humans that is completely, if I may not say the word completely stopped, but completely restricted. So that is a major challenge that is being faced by all ship management companies. That is what the focus of all the ship management companies are. You find ship management companies now engaging with their crew more on board the ship. Try to talk to them, and try and reassure them that there will be a point when things will get better and you would come back home. The other challenge is dealing with families of seafarers who are on board ships, who are here ashore and waiting for their loved ones to come back home, because their question is, when is my husband, or when is my father, or when is my brother coming back home? And you've got no firm answers there.
Okay. So, Captain Sankalp, we do hope the shipping industry will definitely emerge unscathed and more resilient post-COVID-19. We look towards association like Fosma to lead from front and respond to one of the most difficult crises in maritime history. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time out from your busy schedule. We wish you the very best for your future endeavors and hope to connect with you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you for watching View from the Bridge. We promise you to bring yet another informative interview in our next episode. Till then, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment to the video.